You know that feeling when you're halfway between civilization and chaos? That's exactly where the KTM 690 Enduro R 2026 lives. It's wild, unpredictable, but with a strange kind of polish, like a boxer in a tuxedo. You can ride it to work on Monday and disappear into the mountains by Saturday. And the best part? It feels like it's been built for those who crave that line between control and madness. Let's be honest, most bikes promise adventure. This one delivers it. The moment you thumb the starter, that single cylinder roars to life like it's daring you to push harder. There's a pulse to it, a rhythm that doesn't just move with you, it moves through you. And in that instant, you realize this isn't a machine that follows rules, it writes its own. Now, what's new for 2026? KTM's engineers didn't just tweak numbers, they fine-tuned emotion. The throttle feels sharper, the response cleaner, and the ride smoother thanks to an upgraded suspension setup and reworked electronics. The ABS and traction control systems now feel intuitive, almost invisible, stepping in only when you overstep. It's confidence disguised as chaos control. The chassis, still that signature lightweight trellis frame, remains one of the most responsive setups in the segment. Every bump, every rut, every flick of the wrist translates directly into motion. It's like the bike knows what you're thinking before you do. On the road, it surprises you. The 690 Enduro R no longer feels like a compromise between dirt and tarmac. It's both. The gear shifts are slick, the seat's been reworked just enough to handle longer rides, and the vibrations, well, they're still there, but that's part of its character. You don't tame this bike, you sync with it. And that's where the magic happens. Somewhere between the throttle and the terrain, between speed and silence, you feel it. That raw connection that reminds you why you fell in love with riding in the first place. By the time you roll back into the city, covered in dust and grinning like you've just won something, you realize the KTM 690 Enduro R 2026 isn't just a bike. It's a mindset. A reminder that adventure doesn't start when you plan it. It starts when you let go. So if you're that rider who looks at a road and wonders, what's beyond that turn? This bike is your answer. It's not perfect. It's personal. And that's exactly what makes it unforgettable. The KTM 690 Enduro R 2026 sits in that rare space where few machines dare to exist. It's the meeting point of two worlds, the raw thrill of off-road freedom and the smooth confidence of street precision. Imagine one machine that can carve through city corners in the morning, then eat up muddy trails by afternoon without breaking its rhythm. That's the magic KTM's been chasing for years, and with the 2026 model, they've come dangerously close to perfection. But here's what makes it fascinating. It's not just about power. Anyone can bolt on a big engine and call it an adventure bike. What KTM has done here is far deeper. They've managed to blend feel with function. You twist the throttle and you don't just hear the engine, you feel it pulse like a heartbeat. The power doesn't hit you all at once. It builds, surges, and teases you into pushing a little further each time. That's what separates the 690 Enduro R from the rest. It doesn't just move fast, it makes you want to move. And yet this bike isn't only for the dirt-obsessed few. KTM has tuned it so that anyone with a hint of curiosity for adventure can step up and feel at home. The ergonomics are balanced. The seat height feels commanding but manageable. And the weight distribution, oh, that's where the magic lies. It's tall but never top-heavy, rugged but never stiff. You can feel its center of gravity working with you, not against you. Take it through the city and it feels alive, darting between cars like a fox through trees. But the moment you hit an open trail, it transforms. The suspension soaks up rocks and ruts, like a memory foam mattress swallowing movement, keeping you planted but still giving you that wild feedback that keeps the adrenaline flowing. It's like the bike whispers, "Go ahead, try me." That's the duality of the 690 Enduro R. It's civilized when you need it to be and untamed when you want it to be. KTM didn't just build another motorcycle, they built a companion for people who hate limits. You can commute with it, you can race it, you can escape with it. Every ride feels like a little rebellion against routine. And let's be real, most adventure bikes talk about freedom. This one actually gives it to you. It's not covered in unnecessary tech or flashy nonsense. It's honest, it's simple. And that simplicity is what makes it so beautiful. So if you've ever found yourself stuck in traffic, daydreaming about dirt trails and distant horizons, maybe it's time to stop imagining and start riding. Because this orange beast might just be your ticket to both. Before we roll into how KTM refined that raw power into something this smooth, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Tell me, would you rather ride this through city streets or take it off-road into the unknown? I'm curious what kind of rider you'd be on the KTM 690 Enduro R 2026. What makes the KTM 690 Enduro R 2026 so addictive isn't just its horsepower or torquey figures, it's how alive it feels beneath you. There's a personality in this bike, a pulse that you can't measure on paper. It's not the kind of machine you simply ride, it's one you connect with. Every vibration, every sound, every gear shift tells a story. And if you listen closely, you realize this bike isn't built to impress you, it's built to challenge you. That's what separates great machines from legends. Power is easy to make. But power that listens, power that feels balanced, that's where real engineering lives. KTM didn't just throw in brute strength, they gave it discipline. The throttle is precise, almost telepathic. Twist it slightly and it responds instantly. Not with chaos, but with confidence. It's that rare kind of balance where aggression meets grace. You see, the Enduro R 2026 isn't shouting for attention, it's whispering to your instincts. It's the kind of bike that doesn't just accelerate, it talks to you through the handlebars, the seat, and the suspension. It tells you when to push, when to glide, when to breathe. Every curve on the road, every slip of gravel beneath the tires becomes a conversation between you and the machine. And somehow it always feels like it's one step ahead of you, waiting for you to catch up. KTM's refinement this year isn't about making the bike softer, it's about making it smarter. The electronics don't intrude, they enhance. The traction control feels invisible, stepping in only when you really test its limits. The ride-by-wire throttle is tuned to perfection, balancing sensitivity with stability. It's like the bike has intuition, a sense of when you're in control and when you need a hand. That's not just technology, that's trust, built into metal and code. And then there's the suspension, WP Explore at its finest. It reads the terrain like a mind reader, adjusting in ways you almost don't notice. Hit a rut or a pothole and it responds instantly. Push it hard on the asphalt and it firms up like it's ready for battle. It's this blend of flexibility and precision that gives the 690 Enduro R its unique identity. You could say this bike is the embodiment of KTM's philosophy, purity of performance without losing the soul of adventure. Every improvement they've made this year feels intentional. Nothing flashy, nothing wasted. Just refinement where it matters most. The result is a ride that feels raw yet reassuring, powerful yet poised. And when you're riding it, really riding it, you'll understand something that spec sheets can't explain. This bike isn't here to make life easier, it's here to make it feel real. So before we get into how KTM managed to evolve this wild spirit into something this seamless, do me a favor. Hit that like button and tell me in the comments. Do you prefer a bike that challenges you or one that just obeys? Because the KTM 690 Enduro R 2026 doesn't follow orders, it dances with you. Just when you think the KTM 690 Enduro R 2026 couldn't surprise you anymore, it does. Because beneath all that familiar orange steel and rugged attitude, there's something new. A quiet intelligence that changes everything. This year, KTM didn't just upgrade the bike, they evolved it. They've taken that wild, untamed soul we've known for years and wrapped it in something smoother, sharper, and far more mysterious. It's like meeting an old friend who suddenly knows your next move before you make it. You sense it the moment you twist the throttle. The 2026 Enduro R doesn't just react, it predicts. The new ride modes, the refined traction system, the re-engineered ABS, they all work like layers of instinct. It's almost unsettling at first, how it seems to know what kind of ride you're about to have. Whether you're cruising through the city or tearing across dirt trails, it feels like the bike's mind syncs with yours. You don't fight it, you flow with it. That's the suspense. You're always wondering, how far can this thing go before it loses control? And the truth is, it doesn't. The improved ECU mapping keeps the power curve tight and responsive, while the updated suspension setup adapts faster than ever. You lean into a corner expecting a twitch or a slide, and instead, it holds steady. You hit rough ground, thinking it'll rattle your bones, but it just eats it up. It's calm, composed, almost too perfect. And that's what makes it thrilling. Because even though the 690 Enduro R 2026 feels smarter now, it never loses that edge. It's like a lion that's learned to walk quietly. You know the power's still there, waiting, one twist away from breaking loose. And that balance, that fine line between control and chaos is what keeps your heart racing. KTM's updates for 2026 don't scream innovation, they whisper it. You'll notice the subtle refinements in how the bike handles long rides, how the engine breathes smoother under pressure, how the chassis seems to shrink around you when you're pushing it hard. It's not just a machine anymore, it's a companion that feels alive, aware, and maybe even a little mischievous. The suspense builds with every mile. You start trusting it more, leaning harder, braking later, exploring farther. And just when you think you've found its limit, it gives you a little more. That's the genius of it. It never feels finished. It keeps inviting you to go deeper, to ride further, to find out what's next. And maybe that's the real evolution here. The KTM 690 Enduro R 2026 isn't just about performance, it's about possibility. It's the kind of machine that makes you believe there's always one more road to discover, one more story to write on the horizon. Before we move forward into the full review, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because trust me, this is just the beginning of what the 2026 Enduro R is hiding. You won't want to miss what comes next. And that's the KTM 690 Enduro R 2026, a perfect blend of wild adventure, refined control, and pure connection between rider and machine. It's not just a bike, it's an experience that keeps evolving with you. If that got your heart racing, hit like, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Fun fact, the 2026 model's throttle response is now 20% quicker, proof that control can still feel wild.